The seas and oceans represent 71% of the Earth's surface. They are an immense source of raw materials, food, and biodiversity. Currently, they are subject to three powerful stressors: the acidification of their waters, global warming, and changes in hydrological cycles.
Para entender cómo estos factores afectan a la vida acuática, es necesario entender el funcionamiento no solamente de los organismos, sino de los diferentes reservorios de vida. Por ejemplo, cómo el sistema terrestre se conecta con el marino y cómo el marino afecta a la atmósfera en general. Todos ciclos geológicos, ciclos biológicos son integrados en nuestro entendimiento del ecosistema y cómo este ecosistema va a responder a un futuro que está cada día cambiando.
The increase of the water temperature, its acidification, and the hydrological changes will substantially alter marine physics, chemistry, and biology. These changes will affect the oceans in ways we are only beginning to understand today.
El objetivo de esta expedición fue entender los flujos de elementos desde el continente hacia el mar. Para eso, buscamos un lugar en el archipiélago de la Patagonia que tuviera condiciones contrastantes en su geología.
The Madre de Dios archipelago is formed by two sectors, one area where the geological composition is calcium carbonate and another area that is composed of siliceous rock. The researchers wanted to verify if zones with distinct geologic compositions contribute different types of nutrients to the sea, because by understanding how much energy reaches the organisms, they can understand how productive these ecosystems are.
Uno de los efectos de la acidificación es que altera el balance energético de los organismos. Muchos organismos necesitan calcificar más para contrarrestar los efectos de la acidificación. La calcificación no es un proceso gratis energéticamente. Los organismos necesitan gastar energía que se la restan a otros procesos fisiológicos, por ejemplo, a la reproducción, a la generación de huevos, al crecimiento en biomasa.
To measure this primary production, the research group collected seawater using different kinds of instruments. The objectives were to assess the abundance of microscopic organisms and algae, determine the amount of nutrients, iron, nitrate, phosphates and silicates, and gases present, as well as the levels of acidification, of pH and oxygen.
The big problems that we're facing now within the global community is the impact of the anthropogenic CO2 forcing ocean acidification. Basically, different areas with the different rivers, they have different alkalinity in those rivers, so some areas in the coastal zones are much more susceptible to ocean acidification. And so it's really good to try and get a baseline on this and try and map out where these areas are so that you anticipate in the future what might happen to the primary productivity and what might happen then to the fish, which obviously then has a bigger knock-on for local people who are, relying on that fishing industry or shellfish industry even more so, because it's much more sensitive to ocean acidification.
Water is in constant movement, and along its route a cyclic sequence of physical processes takes place in which it passes by three states: solid, liquid, and gaseous. Climate change is altering every component of this hydrological cycle. According to predictions, glaciers will decrease in volume, surface area, and mass, decreasing the amount of available water in rivers and aquifers. With the objective of knowing these effects, the limnologist Brian Reed installed monitoring stations in the territory of Madre de Dios.
One of the objectives of trying to understand the connection between the terrestrial zone and the ocean, especially Madre de Dios, was to better understand various components of the hydrological cycle. And so, by way of meteorological stations that measure rainfall, temperature, relative humidity, wind speed and wind direction, and also by way of measuring directly everything that flows off the landscape in the rivers using sensors that detect changes in water level with very, very high frequency. Those two components together help us understand the hydrology. Whatever is running off the landscape is going into the ocean. Those instruments were installed over 2 years ago, and they've been running almost continuously since. They are located in one of the most extreme climatic areas in Chile. What really we need to understand is how all these things mix together in the hydrodynamics of the bays and fjords in this system. And we also need to know a lot more about how these streams are changing and responding to these very frequent flood events.
Mi nombre es Francis Pérez, soy fotógrafo submarino de las Islas Canarias, en España. Vine a esta expedición a la isla Madre de Dios para conocer la Patagonia, un punto fundamental que hay que visitar. En los últimos años me he dedicado un poco a viajar por el mundo y a fotografiar diferentes ecosistemas y lugares, arrecifes de coral, cenotes como en México y cetáceos en Canarias. Pues ahora le tocó a Patagonia, bajo por el cono sur de Patagonia y subo otra vez hacia el Atlántico, hacia Canarias. Buscamos un sitio donde probablemente nunca se ha tirado nadie en la vida. Y eso le da un valor a la expedición pues bastante potente, ¿no? Muy atractivo el poder ver especies y lugares que yo nunca había visto y que probablemente nunca ha visto nadie.
Photographic images not only serve to capture and spread the beauty of the underwater landscape, but also to document its state of conservation and biodiversity. In those waters is the information that researchers seek to understand certain phenomena, such as the red tides. Red tide is a natural phenomenon caused by the excessive proliferation of certain species of microalgae that produce toxins. In water chemistry, certain nutrients as nitrogen and phosphorus, together with sunlight, are responsible for the growth of microalgae. Under normal conditions, the nutrients come mainly from the degradation of organic matter. In the current overpopulated and industrialized world, additional production is generated from urban waste discharges, industrial activities, and the increasing use of fertilizers in agriculture. The increase in the nutrient flow favors the proliferation of microalgae. Although microscopic algae or phytoplankton are the basis of the marine food chain and play an important role through photosynthesis in the uptake of CO2 and its transport to deep waters. There are certain species, such as diatoms and dinoflagellates, which produce potent toxins under certain environmental conditions. The proliferation of these algae are known as harmful algae bloom, or HAB. The microalgae present in the HAB have different photosynthetic pigments that can produce shades of yellow, green, brown, or more more frequently red on the surface of the sea. For this reason, these episodes are known worldwide as red tides.
Una de las características de estas mareas rojas es que muchas de ellas, si bien son inocuas, otras son productoras de toxinas. Durante el crucero lo que hicimos fue tomar bastantes muestras en varias estaciones y esas muestras, unas las tomamos para hacer cultivos, identificarlas taxonómicamente y luego ver sus perfiles de toxinas. Los efectos del cambio climático y alzas de temperatura o de acidificación de los mares es un tema que ha sido poco estudiado, de tal manera que las expediciones a Isla Madre de Dios han sido una buena oportunidad para ver o identificar los factores claves, como el sílice, que es un nutriente que forma parte de las valvas de las diatomeas, y por lo tanto ellas para crecer necesitan poder tener disponible este nutriente en el ambiente. De tal manera que la hipótesis que nosotros estamos barajando es que las diatomeas en la parte de las calcitas pudiera estar limitada por este nutriente y por esa situación podrían estar produciendo veneno amnésico de los mariscos. Cuando las personas consumen estos mariscos con esta toxina les produce daño neurológico y afectando la memoria de corto plazo. Trajimos muestras de microalgas para hacer incubaciones en experimentos tipo mesocosmos, y dentro de estos experimentos lo que tenemos son dos tratamientos, uno solo con aire, que es el control, y el otro con una alza de CO2 gas, de tal manera de simular las condiciones que pudieran haber dentro de 50 a 100 años más, de tal manera de predecir qué cambios pudieran observarse en relación a las microalgas que producen esta toxina.
The expeditions to Madre de Dios are part of the methodology to understand the biogeochemical connection that exists between aquatic and terrestrial ecosystems, observe the impact of anthropogenic activities on both, and project the effects of climate change on its functioning.
Los sistemas naturales son entidades complejas con múltiples componentes, por lo tanto hemos tenido que hacer una investigación inter y multidisciplinaria. Hemos combinado diferentes instituciones, diferentes universidades nacionales e internacionales, y este trabajo en conjunto nos permite tener una visión más holística del sistema natural.
Well, this was a fascinating opportunity to compare, contrast, but also just to have a look and see what similarities there are between the Chilean systems and other places, but also to learn a lot and to work with really good Chilean colleagues.
The information that will be analyzed in the laboratories will be fundamental to apply management strategies that allow sustainable use of the resources and services that these ecosystems provide us.